Hey guys, 22 Plinkster here. I was looking through my gun safe a couple of months ago, and I noticed I did not own a 44 Magnum revolver. Now I own 44 Magnum carbines and 44 Magnum rifles and 44 Magnum mare's legs, but I did not own a 44 Magnum, and I had to correct this. But I didn't know which one really to get. My dad had an old 44 Smith growing up, and I guess it's about 2 months ago, I went on a hog hunt, and the guy that I was staying with had this revolver. Now this is the Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum Hunter model. Of course, it's chambered in 44 Magnum, and it's also Performance Center. And I knew I didn't own a 44 Magnum, and when I saw his, I knew I had to get it. Because you know, you guys, you've been there with me. You see particular firearms like on the internet or something I may do a video on, or Hickok or whoever have you, and you say to yourself, I wouldn't mind having that in my collection. And then you see specific firearms that you may see on the internet or magazines or wherever have you, that you know without a shadow of doubt you need that in your life. And this particular revolver, I needed this in my life. And you know, it's one of those things, you know, you sell your truck, you sell your kids, you sell your dog just to be able to own one. So it's a 6-shot revolver, and it's chambered in the 44 Magnum. I'm going to be quiet right about now, and let's do some shooting. All right, this is a much bigger bark than a 22, so let's start close. Let's go with this little guy right here. Yes, sir. Now this is a single double action revolver, so you can fire on both. Let's go across the creek. Yes, sir. See if I can hit those little 6-inch plates, 50 yards. Drilled it. All right, let's go back here. All right. This revolver is quickly becoming my favorite revolver to shoot. Until this point, the 617 was. And of course, you know, that is a 10-shot 22 long rifle. And I don't know what it is. Here about 3.5 years ago, I have gotten on a revolver kick. I can't shoot them enough. I love my semi-automatics, don't get me wrong, but I have quickly become a revolver fanatic. And I didn't grow up shooting revolvers. My dad had one little 38 snub nose and a 44 Magnum. And you know, the good thing about this particular one, it's got a muzzle brake, but he had a 4-inch barrel on his 44 Magnum. And I remember shooting it once when I was probably about 11 or 12 years old, and I wanted nothing else to do with that thing for a while. So, and then he ended up trading it when I was probably about 14, so I didn't really get to shoot it as I was growing up. But he traded it actually for an old deer rifle that I still have now, and I'm thankful he did because I love that deer rifle. But, you know, I wanted something that was multi-purpose. I wanted something that was not only that I could take here to the range and shoot, but that I could take hunting. You know, a lot of you know that I have a second channel called Plinkster Outdoors, and I want to take some large game animals with the 44 Magnum. For many years, the 44 Magnum was the top dog. You know, it was the hand cannon. That's what everybody bragged about. Thanks mostly to Clint Eastwood, you know, the Dirty Harry movies, back with his Model 29. This is the 629. It's a large end frame, just like his. Of course, it's got this one's got the 7.5-inch barrel with the compensator on the end of it, which is extremely effective while shooting it. But, you know, the 44 Magnum was the hand cannon. You know, everybody wanted it. Then later on, several years later, the 454 Casull came out, and then the 460 is also out. Now the 500 Smith & Wesson, which you guys have seen me shoot multiple times. This is nothing like the 500 Smith & Wesson. There's still an extreme amount of power in the 44 Magnum. I'm shooting some 240 grain American Eagle ammunition, and these are some hot loads. It's nothing to shy away from. This could take any large game animal in the United States without a problem. But the 500 Smith & Wesson, it's in a league of its own. This is actually enjoyable to shoot. So let me shoot it a few more times. I'll tell you a little bit more about it. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's go across the creek. All right, let's see if I can hit those little 6-inch plates again. All right, let me move a little bit closer. right to the left. Man, that 44 Magnum just knocks those targets around. Now, I am shooting AR 500 still, okay? This is not mild still. I never would recommend you shooting a big Magnum caliber at mild still. All these targets were sent to me by my friends over at shootstill.com, so this is AR 500 still. All right. All right, I'm gonna shoot that target at the top of it and see if I can knock it over. I killed it dead. All right, did I fire 5 or 6? Woo! Little flinch, but you're going to have that with the 44 Magnum. I don't care who you are. So, this particular model has the rail cut out right here on the barrel, so you can mount an optic. Now, what I have on here is the SIG Romeo 4. It's a red dot, no magnification, and it was sent to me by Optics Planet to try out. And I tell you what, I really like this red dot. I have probably put 200 to 250 rounds through this revolver with the recoil of a 44 Magnum and zeroed this thing in, and the zero has not changed one bit. So this particular sight does handle recoil very, very well. Guys, I cannot tell you how effective this compensator is when I shoot it. It takes so much of the recoil out. Now, like I said, you know, when I was a teenager, early 20s, mid 20s, and now I'm in my late 30s, I remember shooting 44 Magnums without a compensator, and it's a handful. You know, you get a lot of muzzle flip, you get a lot of recoil in your hand. But this particular revolver, I've shot Smith & Wesson, I've shot 357s in Smith & Wesson that had more recoil than this particular revolver. Now, what you do get with this compensator is a tremendous amount of concussion. So, because you can just feel the pressure coming off of that big old 44 Magnum load. Let me shoot it a few more times. Now, these loads, these are full value loads. American Eagle 240 grainers. So, all right, so I killed my silhouette right there. All right, I'm gonna try to hit that little green Champion Duracell ball. I've never shot this revolver this close, so I'm really not sure where to hold. I'm gonna hold it right on it. It made it dance. So, all right, let's go across the creek at those 6-inch targets. Nailed it. All right, back to the big silhouette. All right, see if I can hit it double action. I don't think I've ever shot this double action. All right. This revolver is quickly becoming my favorite gun to shoot, firearm to shoot, revolver to shoot, pistol to shoot. You know, there's so many terminologies, but the correct terminology is revolver. But, all right, what else can I say about it? I think I said it all. Well, if you don't want to use the optic, you can use, you know, regular open sights. I forgot to mention that. It does have a really good front sight that is painted. The rear sight is fully adjustable for windage and elevation. You know, this is one of these particular firearms when people come over to my house and shoot with me that I want to bring out each and every time and just say, hey, you want to shoot something fun, shoot this. So I can't wait to do some hunting with it this fall, so make sure you go check out my second channel at Plinkster Outdoors. I'll put everything in the bottom of this video, a link to Optics Planet for hooking me up with the optic, and Smith & Wesson, and also Plinkster Outdoors. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, y'all be safe and keep plinking.